been trying to get this show up for the past half an hour, and I wouldn't say that it was straight technical difficulties, but they weren't. It was sort of like technical difficulties, but like not all the way, but like a lot of the way. But listen, it's the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, and we are doing what we do on this Saturday afternoon. On the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, we're talking about certain things that I'm too old to do. Certain things that I'm too old to do. And I don't mean me personally, but there are certain things that I'm too old to be doing. And I'm sure that there are certain things that you may consider yourself too old to be doing. And we're going to talk about it today. It could be a light conversation, or it could be a serious conversation about light material, or heavy conversation about light material. I think that's the same thing. It could be heavy material about a heavy conversation. How about that? All right, anyway, yeah. As I get older, and I've felt like this at every stage of my life, as I get older, I want there to be some advancement. So every stage of my life, I'm thinking that I should be, trying to step up one little piece after another. Maybe when I was younger, then certain things had value to me, or they meant certain things to me. And as I got older, maybe certain things didn't make a whole lot of sense or whatever. Now, I don't consider myself to be an old man, but I'm definitely an older man compared to much younger people. So I can chronicle certain stages in my life when certain things may have been important. Nah, you're not gonna make it. This phone used to belong to somebody named Larry. This phone number, the show number, used to belong to somebody named Larry. And I don't know whatever happened to Larry, but evidently Larry did not update his creditors about his new number or address or whatever. Shout out to Larry. Larry got credit card companies calling him, and I be getting strange text messages and shit. And I'm like, hopefully Larry didn't pass away and just leave some debt. I mean, I don't care if you leave debt when you pass away. I just hope that Larry didn't perish. Because Larry definitely left some chips on the table. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling today? T Carry right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Stacy White, what's the deal? Yo, thanks for coming on through. Thanks for keeping it real. And Ansel Jones, my brother Ansel Jones, Baltimore brother, girls can't leave him alone. And my man Tom just came through doing no crime, but he's always there, like busting rhymes. No, not bust the rhyme, but he bust the rhyme. You know what I'm talking about. What's up, my dude? What's up, y'all? Are we talking about, certain things that I'm too old to do? I should have called it certain things that I'm too old to be doing. I'm gonna change that in real time. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing, because saying certain things that I'm too old to do almost sounds like I'm saying like it's a physical issue. Like I'm not physically able to do some things. So I'm going to write it in the black way. I know saying that we shouldn't be doing certain things is improper English, and that's the reason I want to name it that. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. That's it. So if y'all refresh y'all browser or whatever, you'll see that it's changed now. I changed it. I made it different. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Now the context of what we're talking about starts to make more sense. Because there's certain things there's certain things that you might be doing those certain things, or you may have had to do those certain things recently. And you be thinking like, yo, I'm too old to be doing this shit. You mess around with a young chick and she dragging you here and there, getting you into all kinds of situations you know you ain't got no business being a part of. Yeah, I'm too old to be doing this shit. I shouldn't be messing around with this shit. Like, I know, goddamn, I'm wrong. I'm dead wrong, son. All right. So, okay, Carrie says the poll question was hard because there are two answers that I could choose. Yeah. Tom says, if the cops come knocking on your door looking for me, tell them you haven't seen me in over 8 years, and you give them the message for me. He's going to plead the fifth. I hear that. I know time. Yo, the show was good last night. You would have really, yeah. That was your show last night for sure. But we still we not finished. We are not finished. We only made it up to S. So we're going to finish next Friday for sure. T through Z. I thought we started it at K. So we made it from K to S. Next Friday, we will make it from T through Z. And I can guarantee you that. All right. ASL says fighting at a nightclub or a party. We might be too old to be at a nightclub. Now, if we own the club, and so we there, looking over our investment, seeing what's going on, no problem. Even invite our friends. Like, listen, I bought the club. You know what I mean? It ain't really our scene, but, we get money over here. The young people come down there. They have a good time. We make sure that security is tight and everything will be good. Come on down. Support. Have a good time. Drinks on me. Cool. But to be out trying to club in your 40s and 50s? Now, people do it. People do it. They feel like, hey, a party is a party. I like the club. I like to go to the club. You know what I mean? Cruise women, get some drinks or whatever. That's what I like to do. And I'm never going to be too old to do it. Okay, fine. From your point of view, I'm too old to be doing that shit. I know I'm too old for it. What's that? Isis J? What's going on? Wait a minute. Let me see what we got. Let me see what we got over here. Oh, okay. All right. Aisha G? Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So, yeah, as you start getting along in age and you start having kids and you start seeing what they're into, and you start seeing like, yeah, I can't rock with them no more. Even if I'm physically able to. Like, I can't rock with them no more. I can't rock with that no more. You know what I mean? Do I support Ice? Fuck, Ice-T? Ice Cube? I'll support them. I will support an actual Ice Cube. Like, go to the freezer and put it in a glass. But I know you ain't talking about immigration and customs agency. I mean, enforcement. Fuck them. I support them being prosecuted. I support them being arrested. I support them being eliminated. I support them being defunded. Yeah, I support ICE, all right. I support them. What up, Fernando? Fernando was good. Was good. My brother Tom says, I do not do clubs or parties that are not private. I think that's smart. I think that's smart. That sounds like a winner to me. You're going to get no argument out of me, my brother. Please, y'all, do me one little solid. Please hit that like button. Please hit the like button. It helps the channel. The channel needs help. It helps the channel. The channel needs help. And this is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm your host, Sun752, a.k.a. Omar with the... And if you can't say Omar with the... Well, then you just say Omar with the R. It's the Urban Therapy with Sun Show. I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should as well. We are talking about certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. I said certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Certain things that I'm too old. Hold on, fuck this shit. I had to start the show because I was so late. I ain't get a chance to get my drummer boy on. Hold on. But certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. Yeah, certain things will put your life in ruins. I said I'm too old to be doing, chasing bitches out here, trying to be screwing each and everything that I see in the skirt. Yo, things like that would get me more than hurt. Back in the days, we had to watch ourselves because AIDS was rampant around this motherfucker, so I go on myself. And I wasn't trying to put it into an early grade, so I had to learn how to behave. Still, my time was my time, and I used my time wisely. And I say like Tom Bosley. You know Tom Bosley that used to play on Charlie's Angels and shit. You know, you understand. Listen. I still break it down just like enzymes and make sure that I always gonna spend time around my loved ones and people who matter. And so I ain't trying to let my brain splatter. I'm too old to be out here fighting. I'm too old here out to be graffiti writing. I'm too old to be out here not having a car. I'm too old to be out here trying to be a star. Ain't nothing wrong with being a star, but be a star in your own little circle so nobody hurts you. But trying to chase the fame and look, enough people know my name. So I'm too old to be doing certain things, but I'm never too old to be a certain king. And I'ma make sure that I take care of my castle and any other thing that try to come around and hassle my folks and my people, my love. Yo, you gonna find out how we do with that shit. And of course, I know that I'm on the right track, so I'm going to tell all that negativity. I'll be right back. Cause the shit is not welcome, not around here. I'm telling you for real here. Yo, my name is Sun and I make sure that I do it 752 on the 1. Yeah, so you listen to my voice and make sure that you understand that the brother is top choice. And we gonna keep going well into the night. We're gonna keep our names in the real right type of, not the frame. Too old to be getting locked up. No, I restrain myself. I got mad anger problems, but I keep them in check cause I ain't trying to have the law or the cops at my neck, and I respect the rule of law to a certain extent, but not the motherfucking red bitches. You know what I'm talking about? You know, red, the right, Republicans, you know. And I ain't saying that you a bad person because you down with the GOP, but you know me, if you on that MAGA type, you on that MAGA, yo, I have never been influenced by a fool. And to me, Donald Trump is on some shit. Y'all think he cool? Well, I don't. And neither do my peoples do. So I'm not going to be able to be following you. And I never followed nobody that was on no bullshit anyway. Because I don't play. So you listen to the words that I'm talking and make sure that I'm never out here. I'm too old to be stalking. So yo, if you don't answer your phone text me back. Then I see you later, shorty. Yo, it's like that. And that's whether you a female or male, because sometimes you can't get in touch with your brother. What the fuck? I can't tell that we really supposed to be tight like that. Yo, I'ma holler on back. All right. So we good. So y'all understand what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm talking about when I say too old to be doing certain things. We are. There's certain things that we too old to be doing. And it's not just because you are in your late 30s or in your 40s or your 50s or even 60s, whatever. Whatever that time in your life is, whatever that age frame is in your life, you may have to make the determination at some point that you too old to be into it. And you may have to leave those things in your rear view. You might. Hold on. Let's see, that's what my monitor, I'm saying like the delay is way back because that little red line, it had this much play in it. So I'm like, make sure that when y'all watch the stream that you watch the red line and make sure that it's all the way to the right, because if it's not, you're going to be behind in time. And we had a little issue with that last night with people putting their groups and their artists and their bands in the chat to be voted on, and they may have actually said a band or a group or an artist first, but because they didn't have their shit up to par, they were getting my message late and posting late. So little internet things, little bandwidth things, you know what I mean? Little things that if we know and we understand, that we can get it popping better. Okay. So yeah, certain things that I'm too old to be doing. I'm too old to be getting in a dice game on the streets. I see the young boys up the street and, you know, they be gambling. You know what I'm saying? They playing dice and all of that. I could probably beat them, but I'm too old to be hopping out the caddy, getting like, yo, I'm in. Come on. Give me the dice. I'm too old for that. Now, I was too old to be getting in corner dice games when I was young enough to be getting in corner dice games. It's a dangerous game. You're talking about a bunch of money out on the street and people being mad because they got their money took. So the money that you were supposed to pay your rent with, the money that you were supposed to pay your gas bill with, the money that you were supposed to pay your phone bill with, the money that you were supposed to pay your electric bill with, the money that you were supposed to pay the rent or the mortgage with, you out here gambling like a dummy. You get your money took, and now you want somebody to be sympathetic. Like, yo, you took all my money, man. You know what I mean? You know, I got to handle it. Listen, you shouldn't be out here gambling if you don't have money that you could lose, because there's no guarantee that you're going to win. You don't always think like that when you're a young cat, and you don't always think that somebody might get mad at you and stick you up for the money that you just took from them. And they might leave you there. And if you don't understand the street lingo, leaving, that when you leave somebody there, that means they will not get up from wherever you left them. It means that you killed somebody. Yeah, I left him there. I took him out and left him. Things like that can happen on the street. So I'm too old to be going places where that's even a possibility. Where cats might be. As much as I love battle rap, you couldn't pay me to go to a battle rap event. First of all, I'm too old to be standing on my feet for 8 hours. And they literally do that. One of those URL events, I don't even know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but URL is a battle rap battle company, a battle league, and their events are long. So you're going to be on your feet watching these battles for a minimum of 6 hours because they don't have seats. They always have a standing room only thing. Bunch of cats on stage, and everybody, the rest of the crowd is on their feet, and they smoking and they drinking and all of that. Yeah, I'm too old to be into a scene like that. I go to the Move Them Hours, Yes, by Smack. Yeah, you know. So I would never go to one of those events. You know what I mean? Like never, ever. I would never consider it. Too old to be standing around. I don't smoke weed. I don't even drink. So to be around young cats that smoke and drink, you know what happens when young cats smoke and drink and they gang members and all of that shit. So, you know, they get all rowdy and things get personal and like he a blood and he a Crip. And even though in Philly, we don't really have Bloods and Crips, we don't have blood sets and Crip sets and all of that. You might have some people that claim to be part of a blood gang or a Crip gang or whatever, but you're not going to find sets in this city. These young cats in my city are too hard-headed and too disloyal. You could call them independent, but I say that they are too disloyal to have an OG. Like imagine these Philly cats having an OG that they have to submit to as if they got hired by them. Then it'll never happen in this city. They'd knock an old head off. They disrespectful. These YNs is mad disrespectful. But anyway, so y'all understand what you understand a part of what I'm talking about, even if you don't understand the whole thing. You decide for yourself. Damn. You decide for yourself what you're too old to do or what you're not too old to do. And hopefully you've gathered enough wisdom over the years to rationally decide or make those decisions. Capiche? Capiche? All right, so I've stood long enough. I'm not too old to be standing longer, but, you know, I put my time in. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Too old to be doing certain things that I'm too old to be doing. What's that? Art nerd? What up, art nerd? Allergies. I'm definitely not too old to be having those. Let me get my John, because I didn't take my allergy medicine last night. And that's a funny thing, because when I was younger, I had allergies when I was younger, but I wasn't sidelined by them and like bothered by them all the time. But see, I live here with this animal, and I've always been allergic to the animal. I said, okay. Oh man, what we got? What y'all talking about? Let me see what y'all conversation looking like. See what y'all conversation talking about. All right, let me go from here. Stacey White says, I don't see nothing wrong with the club. Oh yeah? When was the last time you went to the club then? All right. Ansel says checking and hiding a phone from a spouse. Not cool. I'm with you on that. Tom says I definitely support ice, especially when you put cream in front of it. Ice cubes, and I support when you make Jello shots and you put it in the freezer and it come out ice cubes. Yes, sir. That's right. Support your local ice agent. Support ice. Tom says, son, and I can't forget, definitely support ice chips for sure. Carrie says, when I go out, I need to feel secure with surroundings. I mean, is that even a big thing to ask for? You know what I mean? Like, huh? I don't know. Okay. Tom says, yeah, Carrie, yes, feeling secure and safe and your surrounding is very important in today's times. Yeah, without a doubt. So Ansel says 40 plus handing out demo CDs. Demo CDs. Like, yo, here go my mixtape. Buy my mixtape. Tom says if you are in your late 30s, like 36, and you still looking for a pickup games on the basketball court because you used to be a star in high school, we're going to have to find you a job like tomorrow. I ain't mad at that. I mean, I don't know. I've seen old heads go around in the playground and still shoot lights out. But I'll tell you one thing. It ain't easy to be in ball playing shape well into your 40s. Basketball is definitely a younger man's game because that stamina that you have to have, to be running up and down the court and stopping on a dime, cutting and, trying to juke somebody. We were talking about, he broke his ankles. Well, in your 40s and 50s, that's a real thing. You will literally break those ankles. They don't hold up the way they used to. They don't do the same things that they used to. My people's Jeff Sprayberry is in the house. Jeff Sprayberry, what's good? What's good? He said more than 8 hours. Yes, by Smith. Oh my gosh. Yo, man. I gotta carve out a whole day just to watch a Smack event. Just to watch a URL. Like, what are y'all doing? I couldn't imagine being there and actually wasting that kind of time. Tom says, I'll keep the names off of here, but Philly has some real bulls in the battlefield. Yeah, easy to block captain, even though they try to say he's not from Philly. He is. And Bill Collector is locked up. Even though Bill Collector is from Norristown, but I ain't getting picky with it like that. And my man Rosenberg Raw. Then you got the other Philly cats, from the DVD era, the Reed Dollars, Joey Jihad, NH, Frank with the Grippers. If you follow it long enough, you know who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. Them cats ain't rhyming no more though. Well, Reed Dollars is still battling. But okay. All right. Tom says when I was growing up, brothers was allergic to pollen. Brothers couldn't play in the grass. I've never known anybody to have a peanut allergy. We ate sunflower seeds and like grandpa using tobacco. Yo, you ain't never lied. I do not remember nobody having no peanut or no nut allergies when I was growing up. Nut allergies for females meant that you didn't get pregnant. You had a nut allergy. Anyway, yeah, that's new shit. They've done some things with our DNA. And you can sleep on that if you want. But shit is not the same as it used to be. Nut allergies. I ain't know nobody who couldn't eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich growing up. Nobody. Says, I believe it is, son, because when I go out to parties, it has to be private. You have to have an invitation and get in there, and it has to be a cop right there and a security guard at the door or something like that. Like when old heads go to party, you don't always need security because we ain't there for no, and they're dressed good. Ladies got on dresses, and brothers got on gaiters and slacks, and suits and hats and sport jackets, and ain't nobody come out here to rumble. This ain't rumble gear. I came out here to get fly. Like I ain't even going to sweat out there on the dance floor like that. Like I might, but you know what I mean? Like I gotta get another wear out of this silk. Anyway. Carrie says our girl Stacy is fronting unless Jesus is at the club, she won't be there. Yo, yeah, I mean, like, Stacy's club would be having to be playing hip hop and R&B gospel. You know what? You are wilding. Tom says, son, I've seen some brothers shoot lights out, but they're definitely working. It's not basketball 24/7 a day. Facts. You trying to get a scholarship at 43? Jeff says, I'm 50. Messed around playing basketball, damn near couldn't walk for 2 days. That shit is so real. You are not lying. It's not easy to make those cuts. You know, it's bad enough. Having a basketball is not heavy, but that motion, you haven't had that motion in a while. It's been a while. You know, keeping your arms up time after time. You know, you have to get those muscles back in shape to make those shots. They used to be more automatic because your muscles were used to putting those shots up, so the likelihood that they were going to go in back in the day was higher. Now you got to be running. You know, basketball requires running and stopping, like, you know, especially if you're trying to defend. The next day, you're going to be hurt, dog. Hurt. Carrie says, Tom, you must not know how to play ball. What up, blood fart? What's good? Tom says, son, when you have a job and a wife and 4 kids and you can still ball, you got my utmost respect. But a person that is 36, no job, looking for a pickup game, oh, hell no. You should be in shape. Gary says, that was my sport. If you're in shape, you can step on the court at my age. You can step on the court, but you're going to pay. You're going to pay if you really play. Now, if you just, you know, play a game of horse, you good. But that stopping and starting, You say your favorite Philly rappers, Beanie Siegel and Freeway and Petey Crack. State property, huh? All right, cool. Son, what is this gluten-free thing? People are allergic to flour. Is something in the medicine or the processed food? Oh, what the spray? Oh, what they're spraying on the food? Nah. Ansel Jones says, too old to be keeping up with 2026 slang. You ain't never gonna lie, because it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. What did that bull have us running around talking about 67, 67, 67? What? 67, 67. That's right. Nut allergy for women, Carrie. I chew. He bust, she sneezed. Might have to see the doctor. I said, son, I went down south, Alabama. We went to a party. These brothers all look like pimps in purple, red, yellow suits that matches their gator shoes. I felt out of place. Yeah, that sounds like Michigan too. You know, up in Detroit, they love their gators up in Detroit, boy. They some gator wearing folks up in the D. Tom says, look, I tried to play some basketball. And the first thing that started hurting was my ankle, down my knees, and then you know what timeout, fellas. I took a long time out, brother. Not Oh man. Oh shit. Gary says, I told y'all about the time I challenged one of my sons, fucked myself up. I won't. I won, but it took me 2 weeks to recover. 2 weeks. Time says, Carrie, I think I'm in pretty good shape, but when you are stopping, cutting, moving, jumping, wings stop, changing, when you get older. Yeah, you're right. There's being in shape and then there's being in basketball shape. That's why basketball players look a certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Let's talk about some things. Let's mention some things that we may know people who do, but we think that they're too old to be doing. So I'm going to start this off. I'm not going to say that I'm too old to be smoking weed, even for me personally. I feel that way. But let's say if I was to smoke weed, I'm too old to be in a cypher smoking weed. So if I'm a smoke weed, only it's my joint. I'm too old to be smoking blunts. I'm not cracking open a blunt and emptying out the tobacco and putting weed in it and rolling a blunt. No. But if I was to smoke a joint, this is my joint. Nobody else's lips or fingers will touch this joint. I'm too old to be. Oh, here you go. No. Yeah. Oh, this shit good though. No. 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 Jeff said gravity is more relevant in older age. And Tom says, son, that's why boxers are always in top shape. They have to be. They have to be. Jess Rayberry said, a white boy would do you. What's a white boy? Is that another word for a joint? Marvina Bigby, what's good? Marvina said, hey, y'all, roll me once. Yeah, man, like, imagine, like, I'm 55 years old, be 56 later on this year. Imagine me like, here you go. Oh, yeah, after you take two and pass. Take two and pass. Give it the. Let me tell it. If I drink, I'm too old to give you a sip of my drink. Ain't passing you no 40 ounce. Know where your lips been? Shit, your 50-something-year-old lips, I may not know where they been, but I'm awfully concerned about going wherever they been. I should have been more concerned with it when I was 21. But I was 21. And to be honest with you, I didn't like sharing no drink with nobody at any age. Because you ever see, like, I didn't put my lips on the bottle when I drank. When I used to drink a 40 ounce, I used to turn it up in my mouth. The lips, my lips never touched the bottle. I would pour the beer in my mouth. I pour enough for a good swig, chill, turn it up again. Everybody used to be like, yo, why do you drink? I ain't never seen nobody drink like that before. I'm like, yeah, I don't know where the mouth of this bottle been. I don't know. How do I know? It could be cut. I don't want to cut my lip. So yeah. If I was drinking, I'm like, let me have a sip of your drink. No. Okay, I'll help you finance your own drink. Look, I got what you drinking? I'm drinking I'm drink oh you drinking the Long Island iced tea? All right, yo, I got $4 on this Long Island iced tea. How much it cost? $12? All right. I pay 4. You just take care of it. I'm just playing. But you know, I'm not sharing no drink. Too old to be sharing a drink. I just want to see what it tastes like. Nigga, you a grown man. Get one. Yeah, nobody drinking after me, and I'd be damned if I'm drinking after somebody else. You think I'm a bum? Too old for that. Too old to be smoking behind somebody. I'm too old to be drinking behind somebody. Way too old. Bloodfart says, adults pass a Coke plate, joints are for children. Okay, well, I'm never going to be old enough to sniff Coke. I haven't reached that ripe old age yet. And by the will of God, hopefully I never get old enough to sniff Coke and pass the Coke plate around. By the will of God, Tom says, do you remember Halloween when we had Halloween parties? And all the kids used to bob for apples in the wide bucket. You cannot, right? Here we are getting our whole face bobbing for apples. Damn time. Wow. I hadn't thought about that in a while. And I've definitely participated in the metal wash bucket. Fill that bitch up with water. Put a whole bunch of apples in that shit. You bobbing for apples. It was a healthy treat. I don't even think kids would go for that these days. Like apples. Wasn't no apple. These unhealthy cheering. Tom says brothers around the way had enough weed to roll up an X wire for everybody in the crew. Marvina says I'm too old for the drama. Exactly. Stacey says I never understood the concept of passing the trees. Well, it was more economical. You know, if you ain't have enough money to buy your own bags of weed, plus smoking weed was like a social thing. Like a social thing, you know. But I'm too old to be passing a blunt. No, get your own shit. I'm gonna get high on my own supply. You do the same. Marvina says, I hesitate to kiss somebody goodbye. Well, hesitate to kiss some people goodbye. Yeah. Jeff said, Rick James, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And it is. It is a hell of a drug. Stay away. Yeah, son says no to drugs. I don't even like medications. I'm cool off of all of that. All that. Tom fucked me up with the bobbing for apples thing, though. You got me. Stacey says, that was so much fun. Carrie says, I'm so boring because I have never and never will have used hard drugs. That don't make you boring. Shit, that might be the reason that you're still here to tell that story. Or to give that account. Tom says, the last time Wait a minute. The last time I drank beer was a Guinness beer, and I can remember that song that was out by the Whisper. Whispers, Olivia lost and turned out. Guinness Stout. We used to drink that shit. It was nasty as fuck. What did we drink that for? It was disgusting. Stout beer is disgusting. Now, you had the regular Guinness, but we used to drink the Guinness Stout. It tastes like you was drinking mud. Mud with what I want to say, not acid, but you know what we call it. What's seltzer? Mud with seltzer water and acid. That's what it was like. Bloodford says, I've done a lot of passing coke around in clubs at a business at business meetings. Seems like standard stuff in business. I ain't never been in that business. I'm good. I mean, I've been around people that sniff coke, but they wasn't doing it for business. Tom says, son, you know what happened after a while? Mom and Duke started making candy apples and caramel apples for Halloween. That was no more. There was no more of that bobbing for apples. Yeah, them shits was good. And so says, way too old to be keeping secrets. I don't know about that one. I don't know. There were certain people, they'd probably never be too old for that. I tell you one thing that you can be too old, though. I'm too old to be doing. Back in the day, brothers lying on their dick. Talk about who they smashed when they didn't smash. You should have been too old for that when you was very young. There should never be an age where that's something that you do. Lying on your dick. Like, come on, man. Don't nobody want to hear that shit you talking about. Don't nobody want to hear that. I mean, you probably shouldn't be talking about your current sexual exploits in the first place. But to be out here talking about you smashed some chick that you didn't even smash. You should definitely be too old for that. That's not going to get you anywhere. Anywhere. Tom says, Carrie, there's nothing good about drugs. Just thank the Lord you ain't get hooked on no type of drug. Word. Marvina says, we had more sticks and seeds than weed when I smoked as a teen. We barely had enough to roll one. Right? But that was real weed. This shit that they smoking nowadays, I don't know what they don't be having no seeds. Like cess weed, sesame, you know, they used to be like, you smoke the cess, big deal about cess. Cess didn't have no seeds in it. That was sesamia. Sesamia. It didn't have no weed. I mean, it ain't had no seeds in it. But the weed we smoked, especially the homegrown shit, they had mad. Some people didn't even take the seeds out. They just roll the shit up with the weeds. That should be popping, snap, crackling, popping and shit. It sounded like you was smoking a bag of Pop Rocks. Tom says, you had regular Guinness, but my butt should have picked up on the Budweiser, picked up the Budweiser or the Colt 45. I hear you. Just says, going to see my Atlanta Braves tonight. So excited. Okay. All right. Mad Dog 2020 and Boone's Farm. LOL, I'm old. That MD 2020 used to be so fucking potent. They watered it down after a while. But especially the purple one, the grape MD 2020, that thing, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Have you on your ass. That shit ripped the lining out of my stomach at age 21. We used to drink that shit a lot. Blood before I tell my son. Many people can open beer caps with their butt. That's on their butt, not mine. And Tom says, whoever it was passing out coke, don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I did not hear nothing. I actually plead the fifth. White collar drug, coke. Mm-hmm. It's white collar until you get hooked. It ain't very white collar after you got a real bad coke habit. That shit is straight union. That shit is local 55. When you get hooked on coke, that shit is straight local 332. Ain't nothing corporate about being hooked on coke. Tom says, my mom used to make the ices in the foam cup for 25 cents. And then she had the mango, pineapple, and coconut ones for 50 cents. That doorbell was nonstop ringing. I bet it was. That sounds good right now. Tom says, let me put it in capital letters. Shout out to Neo doing it the right way. He doesn't want to be married to one woman. He wants 3 of them, and none of those women have a problem with it. I love it. Well, there's a lot of people. It's a big movement out here for polygamy. It's a thing. It's a real thing. And some people are practicing it without knowing it. Blood says, I know tons of business owners. Most do coke. It's always available in the room around the other higher up people, like a status symbol kind of thing. And coke has always been that way until you get hooked. Because there's really never enough money to support a serious coke habit. You think that it is, there's not. There's not enough money for that. Marvina says, son, the old heads still be lying about who they been with. You ain't gonna tell me you're not too old to be doing that. You ain't gonna tell me there's no appropriate age to be lying on your dick. Come on, man. Come on. It's the same thing with women. You might be too old to be lying about who you've been with. For real, for real. It's talking about such and such. You don't never have to do nothing with such and such. They just give you something, just because they think you cute or something. Like, come on now. You too old to be lying on his dick. Saying he don't get to put it nowhere, but he keep paying out. Tom says, I'm kind of professional, yo. I'm kind of professional. You gotta take the seeds out. I plead the fifth. I don't know what y'all talking about, but you gotta take the seeds out. The Mad Dog 2020, we called the bum juice, and they definitely watered that down. They did. They used to be strong. One cup would do you. But the crazy thing about cocaine, it was lawyers, doctors, judges, big time people buying cocaine. You just couldn't afford. You couldn't afford cocaine. That's why crack was invented. Yep. It was stronger, quicker, and way more economical. The thing is, with crack, you ain't know what you was smoking. Even with freebasing cocaine, you knew exactly what was in that pipe. With crack, you don't know what they cooked that shit up with. You don't know what they cooked that shit up with. Marvina says, glad I made it out with no addictions. Good for you. It says full-time coke habits cost minimum $50K per year. It's not for everyone. If you can afford it, it will kill you. Glad I quit. I'm glad too. Tom says cocaine is not a drug for poor people. Crack is the prices are different. Damn, did I say that I plead? Shit. You could have saw that on the news. Could have saw that on the news. And the crazy thing about it, when crack first started out, it wasn't just because it was economical. The big thing about crack was that it hit hard. Like the high was way stronger than just a sniff of cocaine, and people who had money was messing around with crack. It was just a new drug. It became the bum niggas cocaine. But sniffing cocaine has never gone away. It may have always taken a back seat to whatever new drug came out, but it's never gone away. Just like heroin, it never went away. For those who use, they continue to. I mean, they'll have us believing that nobody shot any heroin in the 80s. It was just all crack. It was all crack. Well, it was a problem, but it was never one of those things where it was crack and nothing else. The crack. Instead of trying to take out LL, you need to take homeboys off the crack. Tom says, you know how strong heroin was. People sticking themselves with needles in corners on the street, right in front of people. But when crack, but when crack came, that was a new high. Yep, and it was popular, but the heroin addicts was still doing their thing. And so it says fake designer clothes. Bluffer says, I watch crack turn millionaires into bums. That stuff is no joke. Facts. But the crazy part about it is powder cocaine costs so much more than crack. But crack don't have no ending. You'll just keep smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking and smoking until all the money is gone. With cocaine, you can sniff enough cocaine to the point you'd be like, okay, I'm high enough. I don't need no more. I don't want no more. I'm good. Let me go walk this high off, because your chest is going to be, your heart is going to be beating out of your chest. Marvina says, Carrie, we will buy a fifth of Mad Dog and share it share it along 4 people at concerts. Yeah, Mad Dog, man. That damn Mad Dog. Mad Dog. Tom says, I was different, man. I love lacrosse gear. And I even had a pair of Stan Smiths. I love Adidas back in the day. And them suede Pumas. The original suede Pumas. Out here looking like MC Shan. Suede Pumas. The original suede Pumas. All of the original sneaks that we wore back in the day, them shits was not comfortable. Somehow we got comfortable with them though. Nowadays, with the way sneakers are made, wearing a pair of Chucks, I don't see how people do it. Wearing a pair of old suede Pumas, I don't see how people do it. It feel like you standing right on the ground. Tom says, I really wasn't a drinker, but I knew women love to drink sweet stuff. So we got that Alizé, the pink champagne, before the Moscato had to have some Hennessy. Okay. But I tell you what. All right. Certain things that I'm too old to be doing. The drinking, the getting high, chasing pussy. I say I'm too old to not understand, honestly, to not understand how politics work. I think I'm too old for that. I'm too old to just know that the president of the United States is the president of the United States and not understanding certain nuances about the political spectrum. I'm too old for that. I need to know why this legislation is the way it is and these legislators move the way that they do and why decisions are made and why our condition is the way that it is and what's going on overseas and stuff like that. I'm too old to not understand how politics work. Even if I don't know everything, I need to know something. I should be well versed on what's going on in the political arena. So that's what I'm too old to do. How about this? Since y'all still doing good, please put the things that you're too old to be doing in the comments and we can talk about them. Let's talk about them. Put them out there. You right, Tom. Tom says, son too old to be scamming. You right. I ain't never been young enough to be scamming. And so says Tiger Woods getting arrested for drinking and driving. I know, right? Tigger, what you doing, son? What you doing? And I never liked Tiger Woods. That's why I really didn't give a fuck. But he out here getting mug shots, and that's like his second one. Like, what you doing, Tiger? What are you doing, Mr. Woods? All that self-hate catching up with you? Is that what's going on, Tiger? Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. All right, TK Wright says, I'm too old to be fronting about how I really feel. Interesting one. Good one. Interesting, though. Too old to be out here fronting about the way I feel. Hiding your feelings. Too old to be hiding your feelings. Would I be right in saying that? Okay, it says I'm too old not to understand that there is a time, place, and a way to go about things. And I agree. And that kind of plays into self-awareness. Too old not to be self-aware. I'm too old not to understand the impact that I have on people. I'm too old to be acting like the only thing that should matter to me is what I do. Too old for that. Marvini says, I'm too old to play games and be jealous and be too old to fall for the BS. Whatever the BS may be, we might be too old for that. And so it says, fighting over political views, MAGA, you got it. That's the only thing, man. You can't let MAGA have their way. Lord. LAWD, Lord. Tom says, I didn't like Tiger Woods because he don't want to proclaim his black side of his family. I know every man should love their mother and stand up for their mother. And I understand you had to Golden. Tiger's not too old to be. Tiger's too old to be playing this game of black man, white man. He thought about his money would make his color disappear, but that mugshot is letting me know they didn't. Facts. My man Brian's song was good. Yeah. Hit the like button though, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. It's the like button. Okay. Too old not to have no money saved up, man. None? Like you don't have no little stash or nothing? You just straight paycheck to paycheck? How can you not be too old for that? How can you not be too old for that? Like, still don't know how to manage your money. How you teach your kids to manage their money if you don't know how to manage your money? That's the question I want to know. Pinko, stay. I'm fine. How are you? And let me see. I'm just late coming home from treatment. Okay. Let me see. Tom says, son, do you know the president said, I have no comment on Tiger Woods. He definitely is not going to have a comment on Tiger Woods because he is donated to the Trump campaign. Right? Yeah, man, I knew it. I don't know. Never been a fan of Tiger Woods. Nah, man. Enter the Tiger. Right, so most don't care about the future. How can you not? Some of us are the future. We are the future. Some people might say we are the past, but no, we are the future because we the farthest ahead in the future than anybody else. See, they probably wouldn't look at it that way. I do. We are the future. We are the future right now. Our generation, Generation X, is going to make things the way that they're going to be for the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas and the Gen Betas. What we do right now is going to make the future what it is. And so says, too old to have a side chick. You gonna have to talk to some people about that. Brian says Tiger never had a black card. Never wanted one either. He said, fuck that black shit. And so says, we need all the cards on the table. Man. Let me see. Too old. I don't know. I don't want to get petty. Too old not to have a working vehicle. You should have some form of transportation. You're too old to be out here depending on somebody to have to come pick you up or never being able to get anywhere by yourself. You need a working vehicle. Some kind of way. I can't tell you how to get one. I'm just telling you that you need one. You should have that. Too old to be out here, too old to not be supporting your kids. And I don't care what age they are, because support goes down a lot of different paths. You're too old out here, for your kids not to be able to depend on you. You're too old for that, sir. Fix that, sir. Fix. All right. Right. So it says, Fuzzy told Tiger, get that fried chicken, boy. Tom says a man should have a vehicle. I don't care if it's a motorcycle, a beat up hoopty, you should have a vehicle, even a bicycle. I don't disagree. I do not disagree at all. Marvita says, I have a vehicle, but can't see anyone, but can't see to drive anymore. Oh, your eyesight is messed up, so you can't. I understand. Fully understand. And peace to you for that. Carrie says, too old to think that you don't need to spend time with your kids. Word. I don't know. I would say that you're too old to be taking certain chances on your life or on your life or your livelihood. People might agree, but that's definitely the way I see it. Like practicing reckless behavior. Too old for that, man. You got to try to preserve every piece of your life that you could possibly hold on to. Because it's easy to lose your life out here. It's easy to lose your life out here. You got to be careful. That's another thing. Too old to not be watching what you say before you say it. Too old to not be thinking about what you say before you say it. Oh, shit. Here go Carrie. She petty. Somebody too old to not know how to play spades. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. Disgraceful, I tell you. Tom says, I just cooked for my niece at her sweet 16 birthday party. And it's cool when they see you because when you have on some fly clothes as an uncle, you can see the young boys like, who's that? Okay. We men can really inspire young men, and we should. We should. Carrie says, too old to not know how to dress for an interview. Yes. How about too old to not have? Too old to not. That's probably not right. I was gonna say too old to not have a resume, or to not know what to put on one. You don't even know what to put on your resume? Too old to not know how to read. Too old to not know how to read. The cat went down the Basse me and T. The cat went down the Basse Menti. Basement, nigga. The cat went down the basement. Well, that's what I said. The cat went down the Basse Menti. Basement, dummy. You too old. I said basement, dummy. You too. I said basement, dummy. He don't know how to spell. He don't know how to read. And I really can tell that life has been hard because he don't know enough. And when you're really ignorant, like, gets really tough. And the bluff will get called at each and every turn. And you gotta wait your turn to ever get to kind of burn. And the burn that you're looking for is success. And you ain't gonna get a whole lot of that. But I say unless somebody takes you by the hand and treats you like a project, yo, I'ma get out of the way so you can get the things that you need. And I ain't never going to punch you in the nose and watch you bleed. I said I got seeds, and the seeds I gotta make sure I water them so they can grow. Shine my light on them, then they grow real tall. And I gotta say thanks to all y'all, because a village is what it takes to raise a child. And if you don't do that, then kids will be out here running wild. And you know the wilderness that's out here for them is going to come visit you. And I ain't trying to get all stemmed. They get stemmed. They get high. They the ones that don't understand how to cut pies. And the lies they be told is something that can easily be sold, because when people don't know, then they don't know which way to go. So you got to wait your chance and make sure you take this opportunity to enhance the things that you are teaching your brothers. And I'm going to get one, two, or have another. Okay. Come on, Carrie says, Brian, why do you keep changing your name? You do change that shit a lot. Oh, man. Tom says, if you can't play backgammon and Chinese checkers in the original Monopoly, you can't come to my cookout. Can't come to my cookout. Basamente. Tom says, Brian, yes, I can write a book or novel, especially when Tom McCants and Woolworths too. Dimples D's is all up in the house. What's going on, ma? Good to see me some you. And hey, Mickey, what up? Y'all coming down like near the end. But thanks for showing up anyway. We're talking about the things that you may be too old for. Too old to be out here entertaining this foolishness. Too old to be out here entertaining this foolishness. You must think I am fool. I am not fool. I didn't say that I've never been fooled, but I am not a fool. I am not a fool. Oh, you was listening? Cool. And so Jones says, I'm too old to be calling people after 11 p.m. Ain't that funny? Because we wouldn't allow our kids to get calls after a certain time in the night. You would think as grown people, there wouldn't be any limit to what time you could call us. But there's a contradiction in our restrictions. There's a contradiction in our restrictions. There's a contradiction in our restrictions. Shout out to my man, Dr. Umar Ifatunde. There's a contradiction in our restrictions, brothers and sisters. There's a contradiction to our restrictions, brothers and sisters. There's a contradiction to our restrictions, brothers and sisters. Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, you mean. Gotta say it 3 times like Dr. Umar. Will he ever be too old to stop saying things 3 times? Well, it's gotten him this far, right? Hit that like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay. Too old. I really want to say you too old to not be having a house. What you mean you ain't got no house? Well, I got an apartment. So I will say this. You too old not to own anything. Too old to not own anything. Because some people I know, they don't own anything. They don't own their house. They don't own their car. They might not even own the furniture in the house. Rent a center. Straight rent-a center. Straight rent-a center. Brian says, Umar, a scammer. I disagree. I wouldn't say that he's a scammer. I'll say that he overcollects and underperforms. Underdelivers, I would say. He overcollects and underdelivers. But I fully believe that one day he's going to get that school up and running. If for no other reason than the fact that he has to. But some people might say that he's too old to be messing around with some of his followers. Because they keep getting him in trouble. They be snitching on Dr. Umar. They be snitching on Dr. Umar. Stop snitching on Dr. Umar. Why they do that? Why they do that? Or why they doing that shit? Why they doing that shit? No, his PayPal not suspended no more. His Apple Pay is not suspended anymore. He beat all of that. And none of those bloggers ever came out and said, all right, yeah, he got his school back and he got his money back. Let me see. I'm gonna get my verification on. Are Dr. Umar's bank accounts still suspended? Based on reports from July and August 2025, Dr. Umar stated that both his personal bank account and accounts for FDMG Academy were frozen due to alleged hacking attempts. As of early 2025, Dr. Umar indicated that his accounts were still frozen, claiming funny business and citing issues with paying bills. Let me see. Where's the past few updated videos that I've seen with Dr. Umar? He wasn't asking for no money. He wasn't asking for no money. See, this is all from 2025. It's not updated. It's not updated. Okay, let's do this. Did Dr. Umar lose his school, FDMG? Based on reports from August 2025, Dr. Umar faced the high risk of losing his buildings acquired for his school. The FDMG Academy concerns stem from this blah, 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 blah. As of late 2025, the school remained unopened, sparking criticism. But did he lose it though? That's what I asked you. Did he lose it though? You know what I mean? He didn't lose it. I don't know how you think $1 million or less is going to run this school. So I don't know. I still like Dr. Umar though. He's me doctor. He's me Dr. Umar. He's unapologetically black, and he has done a lot for the black youth on that psychology tip. He just has. You said, why ask if you can't receive? Everything is allegedly. Yeah. He didn't lose the school. That's the bottom line. He did not lose the school. You said, why is his mom living in the slums? Now, who told you that? See, I don't like to get into that with because that chick that came out against him, the one that he was messing with, she's the one that put that out there. Like his mom, is like, that's too messy for me. That's too messy for me. I ain't. He don't take care of his daughter. I'm not getting into that either. Who's that? Tom says Umar Johnson did not lose the buildings, but he's under investigation. That to me, you can't open something it's closed. Hey, he's going to constantly be under investigation, but I understand more of the reasons that he's under investigation than maybe a lot of people understand. I mean, with that school, he may be a little in over his head. $1 million is not enough to open up a school. Just keeping it a buck with you. Because the school has to be open 24 hours a day. It's a boarding school. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's a boarding school. So you got to have house mothers and, people have to pass security clearings, background checks, child abuse checks and all that kind of stuff. Everything has to be on the up and up. And like I said, it's going to be a 24-hour facility. No $1 million is going to do that. So he may be stalling for that reason. But this is just some general things that people should understand and know about the situation. But let's do this. Let's read the results of the poll question. Which of these things would you say that you and anyone else your age are too old to be doing? 38% which is the largest percentage, says drinking heavy or using drugs. And I agree. 19% said never having been married. So people feel like you too old to not ever have been married. Okay, cool. 29% said not having savings or an income. And last but not least, 14% said trying to have more kids. Too old to be trying to have more kids, man. I ain't raising no baby straight out the womb. Niggas, you crazy. I said, niggas, you crazy. Yeah, I can relate. That seems like a tall order. Tall order, baby. Vontago Smith. Oh, shit. I missed it. Dipples D says you too old to put black dye on your face to make it look like a grown beard. The question I have is, what is the appropriate age to be using that bullshit? It looked terrible. Terrible. That damn Biogen dye. That damn Biogen dye, man. No. That shit is a fail. Count me out. All right, y'all. We're going to do these birthday shout outs. And then I'm going to let you good people go on and get on with the rest of your day. All right. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious March 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box, Jodion McIntyre. No relation, but what up, cuz? And also Marsha Scott, Courtney Lene, Nala Amari, Doanara, Margie, William, Margie, Tracy McIntyre. No relation, but hey, another cuz. Y'all know how we do. And also Erlinda McKay. And last but not least, Don Shanovka. No, Sean Kofa. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious March 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on into the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. Wait a minute, you know I missed. Hey, Mickey said too old to not have been to the dentist in the past 3 years. Damn, only 3 years? Shit, I guess I was too old for that until January. I guess I was too old for that in January. I would say you too old to not be taking care of your teeth. Because your dentist don't take care of your teeth. That's a reactionary thing. but I get it. And to a certain extent, I agree. But yeah, man, you know, when you assess where your life is, where you're going, do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? The only thing about this whole thing is that you have to decide where you are and what you're too old to be doing and what not. Because sometimes in certain stages of your life, you may feel like you're too old to do something or be pursuing something or going somewhere or participating in something because you think that you've outgrown it when you may be in that right age. When I was 24, no, when I was 25 years old, I convinced myself that I was too old to be trying to be a rapper. Meanwhile, Jay-Z was 2 years older than me. So people can lead you to believe that you're too old to be pursuing a dream or to have the energy that you have or to give it all you got. You have to be the one to decide that, but make sure that you're in your right frame of mind to even be able to say those things. You know, so you live and you learn and you wait your turn, but everything is be all right as long as you earn. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. on time tomorrow for another Urban Therapy with Sun show. I want to thank y'all for coming through. Please hit the like button on your way out. And please have a lovely, lovely rest of the day. No excepciones. No excepciones. And I holler back at y'all. Peace.